was he would very often stoke or give a wink and a nod to conspiracies.
Oh, big
That
time.
he went out there about Obama's birth certificate. He obviously called out the whole Russiagate thing, which was a legit conspiracy to unseat the sitting
No, but
president. Was
the Q thing.
the
He was
Q
into that.
thing?
Yeah.
He'd float out obviously the election being stolen, but all the witch hunt, and of course now with Epstein, when it's not really it is a conspiracy, but it's a legitimate one. But he's saying, oh, it's there's a Democratic hoax. He is very quick to any time it will help him look good to be like, it's a conspiracy against me. Never once with Butler. Never once. And it's kind of crazy, man. Like, we have like no information. They haven't even like attempted to give us a national story that puts a little bow on top of like who this guy was or what happened, how there was such a security failure that could allow a sniper 130 yards away to get.
Oh, it's from day one, when that attempted assassination happened, I knew that was a setup. I knew that was a setup. I knew that was an in-house plot. I knew that was because I said it during the campaign. I said Donald Trump was going to do whatever it takes to win that election because his life, his freedom was on him winning that election. If Donald Trump did not win that election, probably, maybe not, because he's the president of the United States, but he would have been in a lot of problems. So Donald Trump was going to do whatever it took to win that election. And guess what? He won. So now, the same people who were championing Donald Trump are now raising questions about that attempted assassination. Because that assassination, how can you tell us that an old man's ear is shot? The bullet went through his ear, and that ear heals in 2-3 days. These days, when we see Donald Trump, you see the rash on his hand, you see the rash on his neck. It has been there for weeks. But a bullet wound heals in 3 days. Come on, guys. Put 1 and 2 together. We see the scar on Donald Trump's on the back of his hand. We see the scar on the back of his neck. It has taken weeks and weeks and weeks. But you are telling us that a bullet that went through a nearly 80-year-old man's ear heals in 3 days. Really? Now, the same people who were championing him are now raising questions. And by the way, as he said, no investigation, no story behind the would-be shooter. He was shot dead, yes, but there's no story. What was his aim? What was his motive? Who sent him? Was he working with people? The lapses in the security. Nobody is talking. It's like, we shot him, he's dead, case is closed, that's it, done. Really? Now you guys are raising questions because you guys are not in support of Donald Trump's war in Iran. But back in the days, even Tucker Carlson is sat there. He did not ask any question. Adam Smith did not ask any. Dave Smith, sorry, did not ask. Why am I mixing Adam Smith? You know why I'm mixing Adam Smith? It's Adam Sosnick, and this is Dave Smith. They did not ask any questions, but now they are raising eyebrows. They are now wink, wink. Are you sure it was an attempted assassination or it was staged? But the question is, was it really an attempted assassination of the would-be president, former president of the United States, or was that staged to push support for Donald Trump? Because that day, his support went through the roof. Everybody was saying that the American champion, the fist, pumping the fist in the air. Imagine that you are nearly shot. It's like an inch. Like if he had done this, the bullet would have gone through his skull. And then you get up and then you're doing that. Fight, fight, fight. Man, you will be scared the shit out of your life. You'll be scared the shit. You will be like, the confusion. But you can't write anything past this. But I like it now because they're asking questions. And the people, Tucker Carlson is now the enemy number one of Donald J. Trump. And he was once his most, before the war started, Tucker Carlson said he went to the White House 3 times and then constantly on the phone with Donald J. Trump. But now Donald J. Trump calls him stupid, say he doesn't know anything, say he's been banished from MAGA. Tucker Carlson is saying that what you are doing is evil. I like you as a person, but what you're doing is evil. How long is it to go on? How long is this going to go on? Is November midterm going to be the solution? Are all these people going to now campaign for the Democrats to win November election in a massive landslide? Or are they going to say, no, we are Republican. I am an centrist. I'm not going to campaign for the Democrat. What is going to happen? Because one way or the other, this man is a danger to them. He has to leave that office. I don't know if it's going to happen because you Americans, you guys are more than us. Anyway, guys, check out, I got a call from someone. He got a call from someone. What was that someone? The story Trump wouldn't touch. That story, the butler, the attempted assassination, there's a story behind that. He said he got a call from someone. Who was that someone? By the way, I don't know if round 2 of the debate between him and Adam Sosnick is going to take place because Dave Smith, that was that was disgraceful. Hopefully, Adam Sosnick, you cannot debate. You are on that PBD platform because of your friend Patrick Bet-David. Without Patrick Bet-David, you would have been kicked off. Even after that debate, he should have been kicked off to be a T-boy or kicked off to be the gate man. Because we watched and what we saw, that was embarrassing. Anyway, let's listen to the story. I got a call. I got a call from who? The story Trump won't touch. What story is that? Let's check this out. Don't forget, guys, comment at the end. Subscribe if you can. And let's keep talking because the world belongs to all of us. I am Diwi Banaking. Okay. This is Diwi Unfiltered. My name is Diwi Banaking. Let's go.
Get a clean shot at a former president and current candidate's head. Just kind of no internet history, can't get into his phones. He wanted to kill anyone he could. That's all. Nothing to see here. And it's just a little bizarre to me that you would think, like all other things making sense, you would just think you would hear Donald Trump going, they tried to kill me. They tried to do this. They tried to do, but I mean, days afterward, he just thanked the Secret Service for what a great job they did. And I don't know what any of that means.
Well, I know a lot about it. And I'll just say this, which we said publicly, is I got a call from somebody who said, I've got a lot of material from the gunman. I'm not disputing he was the gunman, by the way. Seems like the gunman. The question is, like, was he working in concert with anyone else? Were there other people involved?
Right.
It's the same with Charlie Kirk. It's not a question of, I don't know anything. But the question is never just did the guy pull the trigger.
Of course, yeah.
Prove or disprove that with the videotape that we don't have from the Charlie Kirk assassination for some reason. But whatever. The point is that's only one part of the story. The question was, were there other people involved? And in the case of Butler, I got this corpus of information from a guy almost off the street. We showed that it was real. I'm always skeptical of this stuff, very skeptical. But it turns out this was actually from Thomas Crooks's YouTube account. And the FBI claimed that this didn't exist. Well, of course, they knew it existed. So then the question becomes, well, why are they, since the man is dead in this sole shooter crime, there's a lone gunman and the lone gunman's gone, why would we hold back anything, any evidence we have? But they did. And that would include video surveillance of the shooting range where he trained to shoot. It's a pretty good shot. Over 100 yards with a .223. I shoot a .223. That's like all these SEALs are like, oh, that's nothing. But like for a non-SEAL,
right.
It's a decent shot. So there's videotape from the shooting range. Did he train alone? Who was with him? Never been released. And the investigation was shut down. So what does that mean? I don't know. But I mean, like, what is going on?
Yeah. And I got to say,
why can't we know?
Well, hearing the heroic former director of counterterrorism come on your show and kind of say the same thing. It does just have a lot more weight to it when the guy was literally the director of counterterrorism and going like, hey, what's going on here? We have not gotten answers over these things.
He tied those facts. Those are facts. He stated facts. And by the way, now we've just heard the FBI is not actually investigating him. That was all fake. He retained his security clearance until the morning he left. So if he was under investigation for treason or something, he wouldn't have held his clearance and have access to highest level intelligence, which he retained until the moment he resigned. So, okay, that was all a lie. But he said point blank, one of the most informed people in the United States, with clearances higher, I think, even than Mark Levin's, there's a connection between Trump's decision to go to war in Iran and these not fully explained acts of violence. He said that. So, okay, before we denounce him as crazy, which maybe he is, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be, but I hold open any possibility. What is he talking about? And there has not only been zero interest from like the people in charge of ginning up interest, like the internet, the influencers.
Right.
There's been calculated discouragement and attacks on anyone who persists in asking the question.
Yeah, well, like,
and I haven't gotten involved because I know everybody and it's so emotional to me. But at a certain point, I'm going to, whatever. I feel like I've got a pretty close vantage on all this stuff, and I'm getting a little sick of it because every American has a right to justice, not just for himself, but for any other American citizen. Our whole system rests on the idea that there will be justice affected by the U.S. government, and we have a right to know. You have no right to keep that from me. On what grounds are you keeping that from me? You can't browbeat me into it by screaming Candace Owens again and again and again.
Yeah, that's right. And look, like,
sick
to
of
me,
this.
I've tried.
It's outrageous.
No, absolutely. And listen, I'll say just personally, like I knew Charlie and not super well. We weren't like close friends, but like I'd done a show a few times and we texted a few times. He had me at that last had me do the debate there, and we hung out for a little bit while we were there. And it's I wasn't as close with him as you were, but it's even just like being friends with someone like that. It's first off, it's very jarring to see that happen, and then he's got a wife and little kids. Really tragic, horrible situation. And I'm like, my incentives on all of this is like, I just don't want to believe that this was anything more than like one crazy guy with a trans furry boyfriend or whatever. Like that actually is much more comforting to me than it's some conspiracy. Half of Twitter seemed to think I was the one who got him killed or something like that, or me and you and Megan or something.
I very much vehemently want to believe that.
Yes, right. So like we don't want that. I will say so, and I have not done like deep dives and watched all of Candace's shows on this or something. But like there's little pieces of information just like it's been confirmed by a few different people that he was texting them, they're gonna kill me. Like, hey man, that's gotta be like totally exhausted and investigated. I mean, what is this here? This is a pretty big deal. You really got to get to the bottom of stuff like that. And look, as you're sitting here and it's almost like sometimes people will call, they'll call you out for being a conspiracy theorist or something, or, they say the just asking questions.
You know what's worse than being a conspiracy theorist is having no curiosity about questions that have not been answered.
Well, also, there's just something.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I believe in curiosity and skepticism, and I've encouraged that in a lot of people, and some have been very resistant to be curious or skeptical. And there are two sides to this. There's not simply the people who are coming up with conspiracy theories, some of them obviously fantastical and wrong, I would think. But there's also the government side, which is telling you, shut up, we have this solved. And I think we should apply the same skepticism to their claims as well. There's no reason that the FBI should get an automatic, on the basis of what?
Well, also
their track record of always telling the truth to people?
Right.
Like, what are you even talking about?
Well,
and how dare you threaten me?